Okay, good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is our monthly eCom planning session. This is where we sit down and we plan for our success for the next month and the rest of Q3. So we are still in Q3, and that means Q4 is feels like probably only minutes away. Just think about it. The second half of the year, the first half of the year, it feels like everything takes forever. But the second half of the year, there's some level of momentum to the end of the year. So things roll downhill real fast. And Q4 will be here in a blink of an eye. So my name is Nicole Whitlock. I'm with eCom Sellers. My passion is helping people get organized, get focused, get consistent in their e-commerce business. If that is you, I am here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. So let's get you organized, get you focused, get you consistent in your business. Let's put together your game plan for Q3 and Q4. I feel like Q3 is a pivotal time to um, what's going to happen in Q4. And so some of the decisions, because you're so close to the marker, are extremely important. So you've got to make intentional decisions in Q3. I believe that anything that you're going to roll out, anything that's new in your business that you're going to implement, you definitely need to do it in Q3 and allow yourself 2 to 3 months for it to stabilize, for you to get comfortable with it, for you to master it, and for it to like settle in so that you can coast into Q4 with your entire plan in place. So we are planning for the month of August. I like to have 3 months when you roll out something new, but we're right here. So that means you only got August and September if you're going to implement something new. So I am live on Clubhouse. I'm also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group and you can click on the files section and download the monthly planning checklist. When you download the monthly planning checklist, that will give you the opportunity to put together your game plan for the month of August, because that's extremely important that you have a game plan for the month of August. So, with that being said, go download the monthly planning checklist right now. And then the other thing I want to encourage you to do is grab a notebook and pen. Um, we're going to take some notes. We're going to write down some thoughts and some ideas, and you're going to need a notebook and pen for this. So, the first part of this is, I need you to know that I believe that there are some basic things that all e commerce sellers should be doing in their business. It doesn't matter if you're doing private label, white label, print on demand, drop shipping, wholesale, liquidations, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, thrifting, books. It doesn't matter what your method of e-commerce is. There's some level of planning that you should be doing every single month. For some, it's a lot of planning, and for others, it's just a little bit of planning, but planning should happen. And in addition to that, I think there's some basic activities that happen regardless of what platform you're selling on, whether it's Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Walmart, Shopify, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Poshmark, Google Shopping, WooCommerce. It doesn't matter. Whatever the platform is that you're selling on, again, there's some basic things that you should be thinking about as a seller if you're looking to grow and scale your business. If you're not looking to grow and scale your business, then it doesn't matter. But there's some intentional decisions you should be making so that you can be successful in the future. So as we build this schedule out, we're going to be covering the first half is going to be around month-end analysis. Then after we go through, and there's some steps we're going to follow in the month-end analysis. Then after we go through month-end analysis, because we're going to review July. Then we're going to be planning for the new month. And then we're going to create the new calendar for the new month. When I say create the new calendar, we're going to create an August calendar based off of the analysis and the research that we've done. Now, this is you doing the research. This is not me doing the research. This is just me talking you through the things that you should consider as part of this monthly ecom planning session. So, in the monthly analysis, month-end analysis, I want you to think about there's going to be actions and activities that we're going to talk about that are literally going to change what happens in your Q4. If you participate in the weekly planning session or even the monthly, more the weekly, but I talk about, I'm going to use the example of education. I feel like if you're wanting to get better as an e commerce seller, you definitely have to be intentional about that, and it has to be focused learning. It can't be just random, getting on YouTube, watching 40 videos, and 6 hours later, you come out of the stupor and go, okay, what did I just learn? The goal is to learn something new, specific, targeted, and then to immediately implement it into the week. That's the reason why we talk about it in the weekly planning session. So in that vein, if I were to use the example of January, I'm going to start from January because I know we're in August. But if I started in January and say, in January, you make a decision in your monthly planning session for January that you want to get better at keyword research. You're making an intentional decision to get better at keyword research. Then every day throughout that week, so if you schedule in your weekly planning session, because you've made the decision in the month, I'm going to get better at keyword research. And so each week you schedule 1 hour to learn something new about keyword research. Let's say you schedule that 1 hour on Sunday. Then you have Monday through Saturday to implement what you just learned. Every single day implementing that one new thing that you learned, you spent 1 hour learning it. So in the month of January, you're spending 4 hours total getting better at keyword research. Every week, incrementally, little by little, you're actually getting better at this keyword research because you're learning something and immediately implementing. So therefore, your keyword research game has improved exponentially from the previous year. And when you go into February, March, April, May, you can continue to implement and execute what you learned in the month of January during your focused learning. Let's say in February, you're going to work on getting better at product research. So again, that's the decision you made for the month of February. Well, each week in the month of February, you take 1 hour and you work on learning more and doing more with product research. 1 hour, just one. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, 1 hour of just product research. And then you implement and execute immediately what you learned that entire week, that Monday through Saturday of each week in the month of February. So now you've taken January and February and gotten better at keyword research and product research. Now, March, let's say March, you decided in your monthly planning session, I'm going to get better at sourcing. Now, all of these things long term are going to have a direct impact on your results for Q4. They're also going to have a direct impact on your business overall, month over month. You're going to gradually see improvements in your business because of the intentional decisions that you made, the incremental, focused, precise decisions that you made, and the things that you learned that you immediately implement 1 hour each week. So sourcing is your target for the month of March. In your monthly planning session, you say, sourcing is it. And so then 1 hour each week in the month of March, 4 hours, maybe 5, because it's the 31st in that month. You invest 1 hour each week on sourcing, learning more, understanding more, getting better at sourcing. So now you're implementing that throughout the week as you source throughout the week in your business. And you do that every single week. Now you're getting better at sourcing because you've immediately learned something and implemented it into your business, or you used what you learned. You started using it. Let's say you do the same thing for April. In April, maybe you're working on Facebook and Instagram ads. May, you're working on Google ads and YouTube ads. June, you're working on listings and you're improving your listings. So that's what you're going to focus 100% on. So June is listings. July is improving your automation in your operation. So automation is your focus. Then August comes around. You're like, what do I improve to help my business have an immediate impact on my Q4? So you can decide at that point, like, okay, what is the next thing I want to do? Maybe I want to focus on shipping, or maybe I want to focus on cutting expenses or budgets or whatever, so that way you gradually get better at something every single month to improve your business. And before you know it, by the time you get to Q4, your numbers are not just double and improved, the double number from last year. So let's say hypothetically for Q4 last year, you made $50,000. This year, because of all the work you put in, training, learning, training, learning, training, learning, just like a prize fighter, just like a football player, a track star, a basketball player, training every single month, investing that time in learning one new thing and getting better at that one thing, honing that skill, and then immediately implementing it. By the time you get to Q4, let's say your numbers are not only doubled, they're not 100,000. Let's say in Q4 you somehow get to 500,000. You're like, how did that happen? And it was because of all the decisions you made earlier in the year. So I feel like if you implement something new, especially with Q3 being where it is, you really have 3 months to um, fine tune it and improve it. An example of implementing something drastically new might be, maybe you've been doing retail arbitrage all year and you want to start doing wholesale. Or maybe you've been doing retail arbitrage all year and you want to now do liquidations, or you want to try private label, or you want to, or white label, or because I feel like you need more time for private label, but white label you can definitely do. Um, or you want to get better at, maybe you want to try print on demand, maybe you want to try drop shipping. So, in that, when I say I feel like it requires an entire quarter to implement something new, that first quarter, the first part of that quarter, because a quarter is 3 months. In that first month, you're still executing all the stuff that you had planned for the entire year that you wanted to learn and get better at. But when you're implementing a new business model, so that's an additional learning. So maybe you have one more hour of learning every single week. So it's not just 1 hour, it's 2 hours every week. And you're learning about this new business model. I'm learning about drop shipping. I'm learning about print on demand. So that first month of this learning curve, of this 3 month window, is just learning about drop shipping, learning about the variations, the differences in drop shipping versus the model that I've been executing this whole time, and better understanding it and implementing it, folding it into my business. As if I'm making dough, I'm folding it into my business and incorporating it. Maybe I'm working an extra hour to 2 hour every single day just to incorporate drop shipping into my business model. So now I've got one business model. So it's like plates in the air, tossing, juggling plates. I've got uh, retail arbitrage and online arbitrage. And now I'm going to incorporate drop shipping. And the model is, I mean, it's not going to be a drastic change, but it is a new model. So you got to go learn some stuff. You got to go do some research, whatever. So you're going to implement drop shipping into your business, and you spend an additional hour every single week learning about drop shipping, and then you spend an extra hour every single day in your business that you're working in your business, whether it's 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and you are focused at that additional hour 100% on drop shipping because you're incorporating a new model into your business. So the first month is all about learning. The second month of this learning window is all about fine tuning, better understanding, sharpening the blade. Okay. So that second month, you're doing the same thing. You're keeping that one extra hour because you've incorporated drop shipping into your model. You're including in an additional hour of learning at the beginning of the week, so that way you can get better at drop shipping. And so you're continuing that model of working on getting better at this drop shipping game. You spent the first month learning, second month fine tuning, improving, enhancing. And then the third month, if you've got automations into your business already, the third month could be your improvements on your automations, improvements on settling into folding in drop shipping into your business model, so that when you get into Q4, it's almost as if you've been doing drop shipping and retail and online arbitrage all year. And it's not something that's drastically new. You start putting together your game plan for how you're going to increase your hours of productivity in Q4 to handle both drop shipping and retail and online arbitrage. In addition to that, as part of that third month of automation, you may outsource some stuff to a VA. You may look at other things that you need to do to streamline this process. But you spent 2 solid months learning, understanding, perfecting your drop shipping. And you've always, you've been doing retail and online arbitrage. So now you already understand that. And you've got a new method of e-commerce that you folded in. So when you go into Q4, that is already settled in. and you can handle both doing drop shipping and retail and online arbitrage because you spent 3 months working on that, developing, building that muscle, and being consistent about it. Same thing with outsourcing some piece of your business. So maybe because you've been doing retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, going back to the beginning of this 3 month window, you have been doing the shipping all yourself and you want to outsource it to a prep center. Well, this is the window, third quarter. This is your deadline window because you don't want to implement or execute anything new in fourth quarter. Period. End of discussion. You don't want to add anything new to fourth quarter. Okay, just remember that. Whatever you're going to do, it needs to be settled in by third quarter, period, so that you can go into fourth quarter and it's all about increasing the number of hours and the volume that you're pushing. If you are used to sending in, I don't know, 400 units a week, well, your goal in fourth quarter, to your prep center, fulfillment center, whatever, or to list 400 units a week, SKUs a week, then your goal in the fourth quarter might increase to, like, I don't know, 1,000 SKUs a week or 1,000 units a week, because you're going to just scale. That's all you're doing. You're not implementing new. You're going to take what you're already doing it and scaling it. That's all you're doing. So fourth quarter is critical. And as I go back to, a prep center. So if I use that 3 month model, July, I focused on doing the research of finding the prep centers that's right for me based on where they're located, based on what their fees are and all this other stuff. And I begin and I implement, set up my account and I begin the process of sending stuff in month 1 of this journey, which is July. Month 2 of this journey, which is August, I continue to send stuff to them. I understand their systems a little better. I understand their process a little better. I understand their shipping times a little better. I get a little more comfortable with them. And so I am increasing the volume of things that I'm sending to this fulfillment center. And that is what I'm doing in month 2. In month 3, I work out any kinks that were uncovered in month 1 and month 2 in my process of interacting with and exchanging products with this prep and fulfillment center. In addition to that, I prepare for scaling with them and better understand what their fees are going to be going into Q4. So it's all part of that process of using that 3 month window to fine tune and tweak things. You don't fine tune and tweak things in 1 month or 2 months, because sometimes some of the glitches don't reveal themselves until you've been doing it for 3 months. So I always say the third quarter is so critical, because that's when you're going to either implement, if you haven't already done it earlier in the year, whether you did it in first quarter or second quarter, then at least by third quarter, if you plan on executing a new method of e-commerce, you implement it in third quarter at the latest. Otherwise, you wait till next year and you do it next year. Same thing with, a new service or your business operations. If you're going to implement something new in your business operations, if you didn't do it in first quarter and second quarter, then you need to do it in third quarter. Otherwise, you don't implement that new process because you haven't had the opportunity to analyze it, to improve it, and work out the kinks until you get into fourth quarter. And it's like, okay, you don't have time for changes in fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is all about scaling what you're doing right now. That's it. If you're working 5 hours a week in your business, and that's hypothetical. So let's say if you're working 3 hours a day in your business, well, in fourth quarter, you're going to go to 6 hours a day. That's all I'm saying, is that everything is about exponential scaling of the same thing that you're already doing. That's all fourth quarter is, scaling the same thing that you're already doing. So anything you wanted to learn, anything you wanted to implement new, anything you wanted to change, improve, you got to do it in first, second, or third quarter, period. Fourth quarter is just leave it alone. Keep everything the same. So in this monthly planning session, since we are in August, I want you to think about those things. Can I pull this off? Is there anything new that I need to change about my business? Is there anything new I need to implement? Is there anything new that I need to execute? Anything new that I want to try? I got to do it in August so that in September, I'm stabilizing it to some extent if you're a fast worker and you got the bandwidth. If you're not a fast worker, if you're a slow moving horse, then you might want to just call it and wait until next year when you have enough runway room. Runway room is so important. If you think about planes taking off, they got to pick up speed and momentum to be able to actually lift and get up into the air. That's so important. That if there's no way that a plane that's going 5 miles an hour is going to be able to get up off the ground, it is through the speed and the lift is what helps them to be able to get in the air and stay in the air. So you're going to have to move fairly quickly in August and September so that you're able to stabilize that into fourth quarter. So now that we kind of talk about that, I'm going to go into this monthly planning session. Grab your notebook and pen. Hopefully you took a couple of notes and maybe that's helpful and that makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, come back and listen to this again. So the first part of this journey, there's several steps here, is like we do the month end analysis. So in the month end analysis, there's a lot of stuff that we have to analyze. So as we go through the month end analysis, step one is to review and audit your the month that's ending or just ended. So the month that ended or just about to end is July. Like today's the 31st. So what did you complete? What did you not complete? What did you accomplish? What did you learn? What did you meet all of your goals? Because we always want to establish at least 20 to 25 goals each month. And then we're going to take those goals and execute towards them every single week. Every week, we're executing towards those 20 to 25 goals. So what needs to be added to next month? If you didn't do the monthly planning session, then you don't have a lot of answers here. Maybe you have some ideas, but you may not have a lot of answers. If you did do the previous monthly session, go through and answer those questions. So you established some top goals for the month of July. Did you complete those? You had income producing goals for the month of July. Maybe you had some admin or VA goals for the month of July. Now, when I say these things, these are coming from your My eCom Planner. So My eCom Planner is where these are stored in. If you don't have one, I'd encourage you to grab one. The 2023 My eCom Planner is coming out shortly. So this will help you to make intentional decisions, targeted decisions, so that you can actually grow and scale your business over time. So as we go through that, you have maybe some admin or VA goals, maybe some operational goals for the month of July. How did you do? You maybe have some marketing or ads or even traffic, because I include traffic in the marketing and ads goals. Did you complete those? And then each one of the weeks in the month of July, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you had weekly priorities. Sometimes your weekly priorities are 100% focused on your business, but sometimes your weekly priorities are focused on life. When I say that, the example might be, and when we have weekly priorities that we set, we can set anywhere from 5 to 7 weekly priorities. 5, I feel like is the sweet spot. Anything more than 5, that's a lot of stuff to try to pull off in 1 week. So when I talk about weekly priorities, it may be something like, okay, in the month of July, week 1, I want to order my inventory for Halloween. That might be one in week 1, a weekly priority of 5 priorities. Number 2, I might go through and re-audit my existing Halloween inventory. That might be it. Number 3, so that's a priority for the week, making sure that I make time to do this activity. So I'm making time to order inventory. I'm making time to audit my existing inventory just to see if there's anything I need to do as far as orders are concerned to scale what I already have in-house. Number 3 may be to build drafts or have my VA create drafts of my Halloween inventory. Okay. Now, there's a reason why in July I'm talking about Halloween, which is in October. It's a 3-month span. So you'll notice that a lot of the times things that I talk about, there's always 3 to 4 months in advance. And we're going to do that in our advanced planning. Okay. Then number 4 might be in week 1, I actually am going on vacation in week 2. So if that's the case, week 1 might include something that has nothing to do with my business because I'm setting 5 priorities. So priority number 4 might be to pull out my luggage or to pack for or to prepare for our trip the following week. Or that priority might be priority number 5 might be to, if I'm used to creating 5 listings every single day, the priority might be, because of the fact that I'm going on vacation for a week, is to create 5 new listings plus 5 draft listings. So that way, while I'm on vacation in week 2, I can actually go through the process and hit submit on those draft listings, and they go live while I'm on vacation, making it appear as though nothing has changed about my business operations. Those listings go live. Or maybe in week one, because I'm going on vacation, I put my store on vacation at the end of the week. That might be a priority for that week. So you establish five up to 5 weekly priorities for your life and for your business. So that is one of the goals. And then you also have weekly habits. So what are those weekly habits? For some people, it might be that right now I'm only creating, 5 listings every 3 days. And I really want to be more consistent and create listings every single week, every single day, not every single week. So a priority might be getting on the bandwagon of creating listings every single day. So that might look like creating 5 new listings on a daily basis. That's the habit that I'm working to build. So I'm tracking that every day this week. Did I create 5 new listings? Yes or no? So if you're inconsistent about creating listings, you're going to establish weekly habits. And you establish the weekly habits in the weekly planning session, but you can also note them in the monthly planning session. Okay. Then daily goals, if there is a daily goal for the day, that is, if nothing else goes right today, if, I don't know, a plane lands on my house, what is the one thing I need to get done no matter what? You may have a daily goal every single day of the week. And, what is that objective? What is that goal? Sometimes, again, it has nothing to do with your business. Sometimes it's like, okay, make sure you schedule an appointment with the doctor for this. Make sure you schedule an appointment with the dentist. Get the kids' physicals before school starts. Like you have some stuff you need to do. So this is us reviewing the month of July, but I want you to keep all of this in mind as we build the month of August schedule. So those are the types of goals. And then your daily stats. If you have the My Ecom Planner, you're noting your daily stats. How many listings did I create? How many orders did I fulfill? Whether you fulfilled it or somebody else fulfilled it through automation or integration. How many, what did I do for sourcing? What did I do for product research? What were my sales for the day? What was my what was my profit for the day? There's a long list. What was my mileage? What was my expenses? So you're tracking daily activity in your business. You should know what's happening in your business every day. It should not be a surprise to you. This should not be, old information. This should be stuff that you know. So your goal is to make sure that, again, when you go through and you are looking at your stats, that you're actually taking action, intentional action every single day in your business, and you're tracking it. So at the end of the month, when you flip through the month of July, you actually have some data written down for every single day of the week. So you're making progress in your business every day. So, in that month end analysis of the month of July, you're going through all those things that I just explained, and you're going to make a note of any lessons that you learned about the month of July in your lessons learned section of your planner at the end of the month. You're also going to make a note of any wins or accomplishments at the end of the month. For the month of July, because you want to celebrate those wins, you want to celebrate those accomplishments. Maybe in the month of July, because as you reflect on it next year, maybe in the month of July, you were able to, secure a new wholesale supplier. Maybe in the month of July, you were able to find a new, whatever it happens to be. Um, you know, Maybe you were able to find a new supplier for a specific product. Maybe you found, maybe you do some product research and you determine that this is going to be the next hot product, and you found a white label version of it so that you could brand it yourself. Like anything that's going to help you to win, or that you feel like you accomplished. Like maybe you were able to be consistent about the habit that you were working to build. And so at the end of the month, you celebrate the fact that I was consistent about creating 5 new listings every single day, no matter what. So we celebrate those accomplishments and we make a note of those things in the wins and accomplishments. And then if there's anything about the month of July that we need to definitely be prepared for in the month of August, we populate that information in the looking forward section of your e-commerce planner, of the My Ecom Planner. So we're going to make a note of those things. Is there anything I need to carry forward into the month of August, or anything I need to make a note of in the looking forward section? That's step one. Step two is to go through and review your notes in your My Ecom Planner. And if you don't have any notes, that's fine. Sometimes I will use the note memo pad on my phone to write down things. If I'm out at a store and I get a product idea, especially bundle ideas, I will use the memo notepad on my phone. You can use a Google Sheet if you don't have a memo notepad on your phone. Um, you can also create a folder on your computer where you write down things when you come back home, or if you got a notepad, a scratch pad that you take with you when you go out and do sourcing, or, because here's the deal. Even if you're doing private label, you can walk into a store and get ideas. So I don't let ideas just sit. You're like, okay, well, I'm doing private label. I'm just here to do my grocery shopping. I'm not looking at anything else. No, if you're a seller, you're always looking at stuff, even if you try not to. It's like the Matrix. When you take the red pill or the blue pill, like you see things differently now. When you walk into any store, even if you're only there to buy some swim trunks for your son, you immediately see things differently and you get ideas and you're inspired by it. So I want to encourage you that if you don't already write down those notes, those ideas, those thoughts, or maybe you write down maybe that wholesale supplier or distributor that you wanted to reach out to because you happen to be out and about, getting, I don't know, buying grapes for lunch, then that you do that now. So make that part of your routine going forward into August and the rest of the year, that you always have a notepad that when you walk past something and you get an idea, write it down, even if you don't plan on doing anything with it. So in step 2 of this process, we're going to go through any of our brainstorming notes or any of the notes. We're also going to, go through and review any personal notes, any notes that we wrote in our own personal calendar. It could be your physical calendar, it could be your digital calendar, or it could be your online calendar, your Gmail calendar, because I actually will put things on my Gmail calendar to say, as a reminder to myself, I need to order XYZ from this supplier on this date. And I will put it out there a year in advance because I know maybe I had a lesson learned from the previous year that I ordered some inventory too late. So let's say I was supposed to order the inventory. I should have, but I didn't know that because it wasn't a lesson learned yet. I should have ordered the inventory in April and I ended up ordering the inventory in June, and I only got 1/3 of the inventory I really need and I sold out really fast. Well, that's a lesson learned. So next year I'm going to order the inventory 2 months earlier. So I'm going to go out there on my Google Calendar for my business and I'm going to put order inventory from XYZ in April, so that when I build my April plan for 2023, I don't forget to order inventory from that supplier because of the lesson that I learned. So those are the types of things that you put on your calendar. So if you got personal notes, calendar notes, sourcing notes, when I'm out and about, if I find a distributor that I want to reach out to for a specific thing, or somebody I want to establish a new wholesale account with, I put that all in my notes. So what notes did you take in the month of July? And you're going to populate all of that information in the looking forward section, because you may actually use some of that information in August, or some of that information, like I said, you could be using it next year, just earlier next year. Okay. So we're going to go through and we're going to populate that. That's not going to take a lot of time if you've been taking notes all year. And then the next step 3 is plan on performing your month-end tasks so you can close out the month. Closing out your month means things like, and some of these things you may do now, or some of these things you may do in the first week of August, because today is the 31st, so the month is not completely over yet. But running your month-end reports based on the platform that you sell on, okay? Reconciling your expenses, your bank account, your bank expenses, your account expenses for the platform you sell on, your expenses that, money that you spent in your business, going through and doing a bunch of reconciliation, preparing your tax filings or sending your information over to your accountant, updating any holes that you have in your accounting for the month of July, going through and doing your inventory audit. Maybe that's one of those things that you put on your list that you should be doing every single month, is going through and auditing your inventory at the end of the month, making sure you have all the pertinent information. Where did I source this from? How much did I pay for it? Blah, blah, blah. Where's my receipts for it? Reviewing any expiration dates, making sure that you scan in any receipts that you need to hold on to or keep for any reasons. Reconciling your budget for the month of July. And we are going to go through the process and build an August budget, but reconciling your budget for the month of July. And you're going to populate all of that information about your month end results in the looking forward part of your planner. Now, why do we care about some of this stuff? Well, if we are tracking our numbers for the entire quarter, let's say we had a quarterly goal. Maybe for the quarter, we wanted to increase our sales by 25%. Well, we've got to know what we did in July in order to know, okay, I'm going to add July's numbers to August numbers to September's numbers to know what I did for the quarter. So that's why we populate the looking forward section of the planner with this information. Now, do expiration dates, maybe that matters, maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's a couple of things that I got some stuff I need to pay attention to in August that the expiration dates are going to come up pretty quick. So I want to make those notes of anything that's pertinent in the looking forward section of my planner. All right, step 4 of this process is to review last year's or the previous year's stats and reports. So not only am I going to review the 2021 July numbers, I'm also going to review the 2021 August numbers. So I want to know, how did my results compare to last year? So if I look at July over July, did I improve from 2021 to 2022? You'll only know that by going through and reviewing those stats. And then preparing for the new month, what did you do August of 2021? What were your stats? What's the data that's in there so that you know what you need to beat for 2022? And also, what are the things that you need to keep in mind? Okay, my sales were up, but my average order value was down. So these are the types of things that you need to know about in order to know what you're working towards in the month of August that's coming up. So what numbers do you need to beat or meet for the new month compared to last year? What sold like crazy this time last year, and what was a bust? Those are things you're going to make a note about. What were those things that sold like crazy in July of 2021, July of 2022? What were the things in August of 2021 that sold like crazy? Do I have them in August of 2022? As I said before, sometimes you'll have lessons learned where you're actually going to go put something on your calendar because you're like, I sold out. If I only bought 1,000 of them, and I should have bought 3,000 of them, and I sold out within 2 weeks. Next year, I need to make sure I order early because I couldn't get any more. Okay. That's the type of stuff that you're going to be making a note of as you go through and look at your previous year's stats, your previous year's reports, and your previous year's data. And you're going to look at that 2021 for July and August. So you can brace yourself for what you're going to do in August and be prepared for what happened in July. The other thing you might also do is, because we're looking at the quarter from a bigger perspective, go ahead and look at your 2021 September data. Look at the stats, look at the reports, look at the data. So throw September in there so you have a full picture of what your third quarter looked like for 2021. So you know what you're working towards to beat, to improve, to fix for third quarter 2022. All right. So now that we've gone through and we've done some research on the previous month, and there's other things, like some of you may have some additional action steps outside of the stuff that I rattled off. You may, because of the method of e-commerce that you use, or the method of e-commerce that you execute, and because of the platform that you sell on, you might have some additional steps that I didn't cover. This is not the be all end all, but this is like giving you a guide of things to think about so that you don't miss out. You don't forget things that are important as part of this journey. So now we're going to move into planning for the new month. All right. So as we plan for the new month, step 5 of this process is we're going to review any upcoming holidays, major events, major activities that are coming in the new month. What's coming up in August? Well, there's a lot of back to school. I can tell you that. Any holidays in the month of August, any major events happening in the month of August, and any major activities. And while we're at it, let's think about the month of September, because I always like to be 3 months in advance. So I'm going to think about the month of September as well. So what are the daily holidays that might be significant that are coming up? In the My eCom Planner, we have a list of daily holidays. What are the monthly holidays, international holidays? What are the major events that are happening worldwide, nationwide, statewide, state, local, in your area. What are those things? If there are major events that are happening in your city and you plan on continuing to live there, if the Lord says the same next year, then you might want to start making a note of those things. Like, oh, the XYZ festival happens at this time, and oh, this fair happens at this time, and this other thing happens, because next year that might be a money making opportunity for you when it comes to local sales. So don't miss out on those opportunities either. Put them on your calendar. You can create a business Google Calendar and put them on there, but put them on your calendar for like a couple of months in advance of whenever the event is coming up. So then that way you have enough time to source inventory for it, and you have enough time to plan for staffing for it. Because if you're going to, I don't know, if you're doing a pop-up tent for one of the cities, I don't know, the fair that they're having, or arts and crafts, whatever, then you're probably going to need a table. You're going to need to get some volunteers to help you work the table. You might need a little, something that method of collecting payments, figure out all that stuff and order the inventory. So all you have to do that day is, hey, all this inventory came in. I put this aside. When the event comes up, that morning of, I can just pick up those boxes, pick up that table, pick up that other POS system, whatever POS system you're going to use, and go set up. And it's not going to be a big hiccup in your business operations because you planned for it far in advance. That's ultimately where you're trying to get to. What you're trying to do is to plan for stuff far in advance whenever you have the opportunity. So go through and look at that stuff and make a note of it. Any local and state stuff, because it's a big deal. Any national, worldwide. What are the things that are coming up? And when you're looking at the things that are coming up, expand not just the month of August, or the month of September, but expand that out and go 20 weeks out. So go 4 months out, 5 months out. What's happening in September, October, November, December? What are those things that are coming up? And make a note of all of them, because you're going to use that information as you begin to plan for, what am I going to focus on in the month of August? Because again, we don't order stuff in the month of August for the month of August. Okay. You don't order Father's Day inventory in June. You don't. You order Father's Day inventory probably around March or February, so that you have it in time to be able to do something with it. Or you have it cataloged if you already had some. Maybe you have some Father's Day left over from the previous year. Like, you start the process of getting those listings ready, making sure that inventory is ready, making sure you know what your quantities are, so you can start putting those listings up. Maybe in March, because when people think about Mother's Day, they also think about Father's Day. They do. And sometimes they buy both gifts at the same time. So again, you're doing this stuff far in advance. So think about the holidays for the next 20 weeks, next 4 to 5 months. Think about monthly holidays, international holidays, major events, and activities. And you're going to focus on August, but you're also going to focus on September as you build out your August calendar. Then step 7, you're going to go through and determine your stats or goals for the new month. What are your listing goals for the new month, for the month of August? What are your listing goals for each one of the days? You want to work on starting to scale and creating more listings. Maybe you've been averaging 5 listings a day. And so let's say, hey, let's stretch and let's go to 6 listings a day, or let's go to 7 listings a day for the month of August. Because we know we ultimately want to get to 10 new listings a day or 15 new listings a day for Q4. So let's just stretch ourselves maybe a little bit. So what are your listing goals? What are your sales goals? What are your reworked listings goals? Because again, you should always be going back and reevaluating listings that you already had. And how many hours are you working in your business? So if you're currently averaging about 4 hours a day in your business, or 3 hours a day in your business, maybe for the month of August, you go to 4 hours. And then the month of September, you go to 5 hours. And then the month of November, you go to 6 hours. October, you go to 6 hours. So that way you can have a gradual progression of increasing your hours as you get closer and closer to Q4. So write down what those are, so that you can establish what those are part of your new goals that you're gradually starting to build for the month of August. Your listing goals, your sales goals, your rework listing goals, your hours. Increasing your hours could be one of your goals that you're going to establish for the month of August. And then you're going to review your lessons learned, and you're going to review your looking forward section of your eCom planner. Again, if you don't have one, you're writing this stuff out right now as you go along. And you begin making decisions about what the priorities for the new month is going to be. This will help you with establishing your monthly goals. So, what are your priorities going to be? What are the holidays we're going to focus on and make sure the daily holidays, weekly, monthly holidays, international holidays, or major events that we're going to focus on? Maybe you're a person that sells replens. Even if you sell replens, there's a boatload of replenishables that people buy in October, November, December. Let's think about that. So in Halloween, when they buy, I don't know, a dead rat, they don't just buy one dead rat. Like typically they buy 3 or 4 dead rats. Now, is that a replenishable? No, but they are potentially replenishing their Halloween inventory for that window. So it may be an interim or temporary replenishable. Candy, definitely. They're buying more and more candy, and they're going to continue to buy candy October, November, December, period, and January. So, and February. So they're going to be buying candy. That's a replenishable for sure. So they may need to replenish some of the stuff that they have acquired for Halloween, meaning people, the buyers, customers. Okay. Then in addition to that, you have other types of things that people may buy. They want to pull their stuff together for Thanksgiving. They want to put together their dinner plan for Christmas. That is all replenishables. The other thing is, okay, maybe they want to get new sweaters for Christmas, the ugly Christmas sweater photo. Maybe they want to get matching pajamas so that way they can do the Christmas, family Christmas photo. So all of these things are things that people are thinking about. So if you're doing a print on demand business, pulling together those listings and be thinking about that in advance. If you're doing drop shipping, beginning the process of finding products that people are going to be buying in October, November, December, not just August. But if they're going to buy them in October, you need to be listing them in August. Yeah. At a minimum. If they're going to be buying them in November, you probably should be listing them in August. So there's a bunch of stuff that you should be doing in August. And it could be stuff that you have your VA doing. Like your VA could start building draft listings. So all you have to do is review and release those types of things. So these are activities that you need to be thinking about as you begin to plan out what the priorities are going to be for the month of August. What are the things you're going to focus on? What are the things that are going to be the goals for the month of August? I need to create my blah, blah, blah. I need to source my blah, blah, blah. I need to create listings for blah, blah, blah. I need to, whatever it happens to be, I need to pull out my 2021 Christmas inventory. I need to pull out my 2021 Halloween inventory. These are things you should be thinking about. Or I need to, maybe as I'm doing private label or white label, I need to start finding complementary products to go with my white label or private label product that I could bundle together with my existing product and increase my average order value. All things that you could be doing in your business to help you to get more sales, to get more traction, to make more money in your business. Okay. Then the next is, so that's, step 8 is extremely important, and it's going to take some time for you to go through and kind of reevaluate all the stuff that you made a note of from before so that you can make some business decisions for the month of August, and then also be thinking about the rest of the quarter. And then step 9 is determine, develop, and build your budget for the month of August. You definitely need to figure out, what do I need to be budgeting for the month of August? What's the supplies I'm going to need? What are the products I'm going to need? What are the things that, to help reorganize stuff? I'm going to get more inventory is going to come in. Do I have tubs? Do I need more tubs? Do I need shipping boxes? Do I need whatever it happens to be? Even if you're shipping to your fulfillment center, like, you're going to repurpose the boxes that came in. Maybe that's the strategy. Whatever it happens to be. Maybe you need a new printer, and this is the window in which you need to get it. Okay. So now we're in the last leg of this journey as we kind of have evaluated and we have thoroughly thought through the month of August, using some of the stuff that we thought through for the month of July. If you go back and listen to the first 10 minutes of this video, then of this audio or video, all of those things are the same things you're going to recreate for the month of August. Okay. So now we're actually going to build the calendar. If you're using the My eCom Planner, we're going to talk about, some of your tasks you're going to put on certain lines of the digital My eCom Planner. So if you don't have that, you can grab it at myecomplanner.com, get the digital version. But the top couple of, there's like 6 lines, 5 lines, whatever. So the first 2 lines, we're going to put some pertinent information that are specific to, that are non-business related, maybe. And then the middle lines or the bottom lines is where we're going to put all the things that are related to our business, because the planner is designed to not just be 100% for your business, but to be able to use it for your life. So when little Billy has a soccer game, like, put it on the calendar. When you've got to go and look at a dance recital, or, prepare for, buying new equipment because football season is going to start, whatever. That kind of stuff, put it on the calendar, because these are personal things and you don't want to forget them. They're extremely important. You have a dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, you need to get an oil change, you got to get new tires, whatever it happens to be. Put those things on your calendar, fill it in. So step 10 of this process has a bunch of sub-steps. So on step 10, 1, you're going to go through and you're going to pull out your personal, your work, and your online calendar. So you're going to pull out your personal calendar, you're going to look at your work calendar if you have a job, and you're going to pull out your business calendar, and you're going to populate things that you wrote on those calendars. You're going to populate those on line 1 and 2 in your My eCom Planner. If you don't have a My eCom Planner, then you probably want to put them at the top. You can go and Google and download a calendar grid that you can print it out and write on it. Or if you've got your own planner, there's probably lines for each one of the days of the week. So you can fill in the top couple of lines to put all the stuff that's coming from your online calendar, so you don't forget them. They're visibly there, and so you don't overlook them and you don't forget them, the things that you already know for the month of August. And if you want to go ahead and fill in September, you can do the same if you've got stuff on your September online calendar. Add those activities on lines 1 and 2 of your monthly calendar. Next, you want to add any major personal, spiritual, family, household, fitness, financial, any of that stuff. So maybe the insurance guy is coming to give you that physical so you can increase your life insurance to $1 million. And he says he's coming on August the 16th. And you want to write that down. Okay. Maybe you've got tryouts for football. And so for your son or daughter. And so for your son. And daughters can play kick anyway. So maybe that tryouts start on August the 18th or something like that. So you need to put that on there. Anything else? Maybe your mother-in-law is coming in from out of town, or your father-in-law, or someone else, someone is having surgery, and these are major dates that you need to remember, or XYZ's birthday is coming up. Like, put the important things that are happening in your life on there. Maybe your church is having a women's conference, so add that to the monthly calendar. This is the monthly calendar, and put that on lines 1 and 2. Now we're going to go through and we're going to extract all the information that we wrote down in our looking forward section. We're going to add it to our monthly calendar. We're going to add all of the looking forward from our daily, the daily holidays, any of the monthly, any of the business related stuff, the inventory we need to order, the all of the things that I previously mentioned. And I mentioned a lot of stuff, so go back and listen to that. But you're going to populate this in lines 3 and through 5 of your monthly calendar for the month of August. So you're building out the calendar. You're filling in the blank as you go through the process, filling in the blank and establishing, what those activities need to be each one of the weeks as you go through and look at the weeks. Okay. And so this is where I'm saying, week 1 of August might look like, in week 1 of August, I'm going through and I'm pulling out my I'm reconciling the month of July. Okay, that's definitely an activity I'm doing the first week in August. Also, in the first week of August, I'm pulling out my Halloween inventory. Maybe that's something I'm doing. Okay, and I'm also pulling out all my pumpkin spice. You probably should already pull that out in July, but anyway. Then, and that's week one. Week two, I might be ordering new inventory for Halloween. I'm a little late for that at this point, but ordering inventory for Halloween, so that way I can order the replacements or whatever. And I'm creating my listings, having my VA create my draft listings for Halloween. So that's probably one of the things I'm doing in week two. Week three, I'm probably ordering inventory for ordering replenishables and consumables for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to maybe do some product research to figure out what I'm going to order, and then I'm going to go source and order that stuff so it starts coming in for Thanksgiving. What are the things that I need to be able to have listings for? And then the last week in August, maybe I'm ordering any Christmas related inventory that I need to buy. And so I've gone through, as I've pulled out stuff, I'm going through and I'm ordering a Christmas related inventory. And I'm having the VA start creating draft listings. So that's like an example of week one, week two, week three, week four of the month of August. That's what you're going to be doing. So you're going to fill in your monthly plan for each one of the weeks. And as you fill in the monthly plan for each one of the weeks, you think about all the pertinent stuff that's come up, all the important things that you did research on. So if you're doing, like print on demand, you could start with, start creating my Halloween designs, and then create my Halloween, maybe my bundle designs, and figure out what bundles what are my platforms that I'm going to be, providers that I'm going to be working with for my print on demand products. Maybe I'm creating or adding new print on demand providers to my list this year. So I'm going to test with those print on demand providers to see how good or bad their products are, how fast the processing time is. I'm going to go through and maybe reach out to, maybe one of the things I put in my weekly plan is to follow up with each one of the print on demand suppliers to make sure, what's their game plan for Q4. How much padding should I add to my listings from a processing standpoint that's going to take you longer? Just know that it's going to take everybody longer to get their shipments to their customers. It's just par for the course because you're a seller for e-commerce. So that's going to happen anyway. That's a natural progression as part of this business. But these are things you need to be thinking about. Same thing with like drop shipping, finding out what the quantities are that supplier has. And then maybe you begin the process of creating or finding backup suppliers for the same product. If you knew it sold like hotcakes last year as a drop shipper, you need to make sure you have a backup reserve for that particular supplier this year. So again, putting that on your weekly plan. When do I do that? Wednesday, I'm going to go find a backup supplier for this product. Thursday, I'm going to go find a backup supplier for this product. Friday, I'm going to go find a backup supplier for this product. So you're literally building out your entire schedule for the week, for the month. And you're also building out each one of your weeks so that you know where you need to focus your time, where you need to focus your energy, what you need to focus on. Now, as you think through this, I want you to think in blocks of activities. Listing related activities. What are the listings that I need to create each week this month? The pertinent, important listings, whether I need to create them in draft form or I need to create them for real and make them active. So listing, what are the listings that need to go live in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4? What are the draft listings I need to create in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4? Shipping. So you have shipping that you're doing, and then you have maybe shipping that's part of an integration, whether it's, fulfilled through a vendor or, you've got an integration, maybe you're using Deliver or whatever, FBA. So what shipments do I need to get to my fulfillment center in week 1? What shipments do I need to get to them in week 2? What do I need to get to them in week 3, week 4? Those are important activities. So you need to figure that out. What are the shipments that need to go to them? And what are the shipments that, we're going to talk about sourcing in just a second, but, are there any shipments that you need to be prepared for? Maybe I need to order new boxes for all of the Halloween stuff that I'm going to be personally shipping myself. So what shipping supplies do I need in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, because of the types of products that these listings are going live? If you don't have it, you need to order it. Then you have sourcing. What do I need to be ordering? What inventory do I need to reorder, or what inventory do I need to have already ordered and be going through because it's coming in? Or what inventory do I need to re-audit? All of the sourcing related stuff. What stores do I need to go by and check out and go look at? Which manager do I need to follow up with to go back and get, anything that they're holding for me, pull from the back office or from the, the storage room? What activity is that? Okay. So shipping, sourcing related activities, whether it is physical sourcing going out to the stores or physical sourcing online, looking for deals. And maybe there's some sourcing related activities you're giving to your VA, or maybe you're hiring this year. This is your year to hire a personal shopper to help you because you're a one-man show or a two-lady show. So again, what do you need to do from a sourcing standpoint? The summer is the best time to train someone, just so you know, to do your personal shopping. You can hire a college student or a high schooler and put together a game plan and a strategy. So maybe that's part of your week one. Put out an ad for a personal shopper. Week two, interview personal shoppers. Week three, train your new personal shopper. These are things in your business. Okay. So then you got product research. What product research do you need to do in week one, week two, week three, week four? What products should you be researching that you're potentially going to be selling in 20 weeks? So you're selling in 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. What product research should you be doing now? Okay. That's what matters. August is a pivotal month. So is July. What is that? What are those products? Okay, so we've gone through listing related activities for each week in the month of August, shipping related or connected activities, sourcing related activities, product research related activities. Those are all important things that move the needle in your business. And those are things that you need to make sure you have not forgotten, you haven't overlooked, and that you put into your monthly planning for your business. Not just thinking about the month of August, but also thinking about the month of September, because that's part of Q3. Okay, so really think about that with a fine-tuned comb. What are the activities you need to do? Okay, when you're doing sourcing, what should you be sourcing? Where are you going to be sourcing from? When you're thinking about product research, what are you doing product research on? And then you'll figure out where you're going to source it from. When you're creating listings, what are the listings you're going to be creating? All of those things. Okay. So you have a weekly template. As we go through the weekly planning, this is where we're going to extract what the game plan is for each one of the weeks. You're going to pull it from your monthly calendar that you're building right now. What am I doing in week one, week two, week three, week four? Okay. And then you also need to go ahead and fill in your top goals. What are the top goals for the month of August? The ones that are definitely going to move the needle in your business for sure. What are the income producing goals? If you an income producing goal, again, if I'm doing 5 listings per day, and the more listings I put up, there's definitely an increase in potential income. So if I go from 5 listings a day to 7 listings a day, one, because I'm trying to make incremental improvements in my business, and I know that as I go closer to Q4, I'm going to have to increase the number of listings. So it's incremental. I go from 5 to 7. That's my goal. Okay. So maybe that's one of your goals is 7 listings. It could be that one of your goals is for the month. Maybe this month you want to, instead of creating 300 new listings, your goal is to create 400 new listings. So again, you got to reverse engineer that. How many listings per day do I need to create in order to get to the 400 at the end of the month? Okay. What are your admin or VA goals? I just mentioned one for, hiring a personal shopper. Maybe that's one of your things. You also have to put a process in place for them. So that means one of your goals might be to create an outline or create action steps or create an information packet for the person that you're onboarding. Okay. Maybe one of the things is to put together a budget for this particular person. Maybe you're not hiring them this month. Maybe you're hiring them next month. And so your goal this month is to establish a budget for VAs. That could be your goal. And then ads, marketing, or traffic. What are your goals? So are you a person that runs ads? What are your numbers that you're targeting? How many ads, how many ads do you want to create this month? Okay. From a traffic standpoint, like, are you cross-listing on other platforms? Maybe that's something you want to do that's new for you. this month, so that way when you get into Q4, it's already an automatic habit that you always cross list. Maybe that's not something you're doing today, and so you want to get more eyeballs on your listings. The way you do that is you can cross list, you can cross share it on the different social media platforms, and you can also cross list it onto other platforms. Maybe creating marketing videos is one of your goals this month, to learn how to create a video to go on your listing, because people's attention spans are like that of a gnat. So they got to visually see something. So maybe that's one of the new goals that you're going to establish this month, that I'm going to learn how to, in week 1 and week 2, learn how to create for 1 hour every single week, maybe 2, learn how to create create a new video to go on my listing. So there's a difference between a marketing video and just a video that goes on the listing. The video that goes on the listing is showcasing the product and how to use the product in most cases. The marketing video is, showing the benefit. Both of them will show pretty much the benefits of that product, being available to the person. But I want you to think about all of this stuff. I've given you a lot to think about. I could go on and on and on, but I want you to stop and go through this process and evaluate what you're doing in your business, what the game plan is for your business, and make some decisions about the month of August and the month of September, and build out a week by week plan, and also establish overall goals for the month. Overall goals for the month. All right. So with that, I hope this information is helpful. I hope you went and downloaded the monthly eCom planning checklist. I hope you come back and listen to the replay of this so that you don't forget anything, as I gave you a lot to think about. But I believe that putting together a thorough plan will help you reach your ultimate goal, your ultimate targets. Not having a plan, you're working towards it, but you're not measuring whether or not you're going to be able to reach that goal. And so if you're focused on it, and you can continually see it and you visualize it, you have a better chance of achieving it. So I hope, share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the monthly eCom planning session. Share it to your wall. Share it to someone who is, wanting to get better at this e-commerce thing, but they feel like they're flailing at it. Maybe planning is the one thing that they got to do better. And then once you create a plan, you need to execute it. A plan is no good if it's just on paper. You have to execute the plan. You got to implement it immediately. So it is July the 1st, 31st. Sit down, write out your plan, do some, thinking, come back and re-listen to this, write down some more ideas, and then begin the process of building your draft schedule and plan for the month of August, and be thinking about also September, so that you have a well-rounded vision of what's happening third quarter. And with that, I hope this is helpful. My goal in life, I'm Nicole Whitlock, I'm with eCom Sellers, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to actually achieve their goals, to establish goals, to build goals, realistic goals, help them to achieve them, reach them, plan for them, target them, all of that. If you need help, you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session with me. In addition to that, I invite you to grab the My eCom Planner. The 2023 version is coming out soon. You can download that directly by going, the digital version, by going to myecomplanner.com. And when the 2023 is out, we will definitely let you know. It is right around the corner. So we want you to be able to grab that as well. And my hope, my prayer, my wish for you is that you have an extremely focused, highly profitable, highly successful August Q3. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Share this out with a friend. Go register for the eCom Q4 Summit at www.ecomq4summit.com. Bye-bye.